morning! 12-ish sort of days of Christmas. Day 3, I think? I don't know. It is the 23rd of December and Miss Maddie, come up here! Come up! It's Miss Maggie's Gotcha Day! Yes it is! Yes it is! It's her Gotcha Day. 2 years ago today, yes, 2 years ago today, Mummy went out in the snow and came home with this little lump of fluff. Hello, beautiful. Mummy loves you. Do you love Mummy? Kissy kissy. No, belly rubs. Slave to the belly. I'm a slave to the belly rubs. There you go, my baby girl. So, happy Gotcha Day to Miss Maddie. Mwah. We're going to celebrate later with a nice big bone, which Mummy has on order with the, butcher. If you're wondering why I'm looking a little bit strange today, I thought I'd do something a bit different. I like to do different things on my channel, as you know. I don't like to just do art. I like to kind of make my channel an art journal in and of itself. So I thought, since I have to get up and go out and brave the weather this morning, it's vile out there, it's wet, it's windy, it's blowy, it's cold, it's not nice at all. I thought I would do kind of a, sorry, I'm covered in hair now, kind of a get ready with me video, you know, like the beauty gurus do, except I'm totally not a beauty guru. I'm just somebody with a very podgy round face doing their makeup. So this is what I'm beginning with. I have, I've already cleaned and moisturised and everything. I don't generally do much to my actual skin. I'm going to start off by saying I am not in any way, shape or form a beauty aficionado. At all. No. I don't have all the MAC 217 brushes and all that kind of stuff. I use cheap and cheerful, what doesn't break me out in allergies and things, and I just slap it on. I'm just a goth and I like to wear makeup. It's that simple. Normal girl. So I'm gonna, I'm a bit froggy again. I'm gonna have some drink. Oh, Tango Cherryade. Best drink ever. Right, I'm going to start, if I can find it, with, oh there it is, it's still in my pot. This is my makeup pot. It's a cauldron. And because I tend to only wear makeup when I'm either going out or if I'm filming, I tend to do my makeup under the daylight bulb in here, so my makeup lives in here. It's usually over there somewhere where all those boxes of stuff are. Excuse me. I am very froggy again this morning, I can't help that. So, we're moisturised and cleaned and I've popped some primer on. I just use a Collection 2000 primer, just because it helps stop my makeup sliding off my face. And I've got my, I need to get a new one while I'm in town. This is Collection 2000 concealer in Fair 1. Sorry, Fair number 1. I've always struggled with finding a decent primer, and then I watch Fleur de Force, and she recommended this one. She said it was the best one she'd ever used, hands down. And you know, she buys like really high-end products, and this is like £1 in the drugstore, so I just use that to deal with the fact that I have really big shadows under my eyes, which is a symptom of sinus issues, and they seem to be worse today than normal. And I don't do anything fancy, I just use my ring finger and blend it out. and I use a little bit around the edge of my nose at the moment. Again, I don't normally do that, it's just I have, where I've had a cold and sinus problems and stuff, I've been rubbing my nose so it's a bit red. No matter how careful you are, it always seems to end up a little bit red. I'm just blending that out, and you can see that just lifts those really dark circles underneath my eyes, and it gets rid of that redness around here. Interesting thing about my weird face, it doesn't match on either side. This side is flatter than this side. I don't know why that is, but I have to contour on this side to get it to match this side. And also, if I can, sorry about the coughing, I'm really froggy. If I can find something to use, you may have noticed, if I line this up between the middle of my forehead and the middle of my lips, can you see? I have a really badly broken nose. It slides off to that side. And most people don't notice because I contour it. So you can't actually tell most of the time. But without makeup, it's very obvious. Especially if you put a line down the middle. It's literally like ½ an inch off to that side. Thank you, Maddie. Well, it's not only Maddie. I got hit in the face with a football when I was a kid. And that knocked it very slightly off. But then a few months ago, Maddie smacked me in the face. She literally just boom, like that, and her head's really heavy and hard, and literally bam, and that was fun. So that's where the extra bit of thatness comes from. Anyway, interesting little point for you. I'll show you how I contour that later, because I don't know, I say this a lot to people, but if you like drawing portraits, learning how to do makeup is a really good thing to do. You can learn so much about making a face look good by doing makeup. Learn to do it. It's important. Anyway, my face is still a bit damp from my primer, so I'm not going to put my face product on yet. Not that I really use a lot of face product, but I'm going to start with my eyes, and today, oh, it's terribly exciting. Look what I've got. I know, right? I've been using the Sleek Storm palette for years. That's the only makeup I've bothered using because it's got all the colours I like. But I recently had an order in from Elf, and it said if you bought £15 worth of stuff, you got a £15 free gift. And as it happened, because I needed to replace my face powder, my total came to over £15. It was £16.50. So I thought, well, this is free. Might as well have it. Look at all the pretty colours. Isn't it gorgeous? I'm so excited. I've never had this many eyeshadows to play with in my life. So, yeah. Very exciting. So I'm going to play with that today. There are no numbers or anything on any of these colours, so I have no idea what they are. But, you know, I have somewhere a eyeshadow brush. Voila. It's not a particular eyeshadow brush, it's just my favourite. It's nice and soft and square, and I find it easiest to use. So I'm going to start, I think, with I want to go kind of grey and purple, so I think I'm going to start with this pink. It's kind of a matte pink, and that should work well as a base colour. Oh, going to need a little bit more than that. I like to start with a base colour because I'm a big fan of smoky eyes and blending, and in order to do that, you really need to have a base colour. Just makes it easier. So you can see this is a nice soft greyish pink. I really like it actually. I'm just whacking that all over wherever I think my eye area is. There we go. Now, long time ago, a long time ago, ooh, I've got a bit of eyeshadow on my eyelash. I was watching a TV programme where they did a makeover and I can't remember who the makeup artist is. He's quite well known in the UK, but I honestly cannot remember his name. He said that you should always do your eyebrows before you do your eye makeup, because how can you paint, and I quote, how can you paint a picture if you don't know where the edges of the canvas are? And that rang true with me. That was like, you know me, I've got to have things that really ring true for me to take any notice of them. And that was like, oh yeah, well that's true. If you don't know, sorry, I've got eyeshadow on my eyelash and it's tickling my eye. If you don't know how big your paper is or how big your canvas is, you can't plan your composition. So I've always done my eyebrows before I do anything else. So this is almost everything I own is Elf or Rimmel. There is no reason for that. It's not a branding thing or a snobby thing or anything like that. I'm not sponsored or anything. Rimmel doesn't break me out in spots, and neither does Elf. So I like their products. And especially Rimmel, their eye products don't make my eyes bad, because I have quite sensitive eyes. So that's the only reason. I use what doesn't make my eyes and my skin break out in crazy ways. So this is it's a Rimmel Professional Eyebrow Pencil in 004 Black Brown, and it's one of the new ones with the nifty little brush at the end. Because my roots, even though I'm a redhead, I'm very dark redhead, so I tend to do my eyebrows quite dark because I don't have eyebrows. Look, I don't have eyebrows. So I generally start on this side because it's easier to draw a curve that way than that way, which gives me a guide. And because my eyes are very close set, but the gap between my eyebrows is massive, I tend to bring my eyebrows in just a little bit. And I'm just using the side of the pencil, short strokes, and I draw them the same way that I draw fashion brows on my girls. So I draw them from underneath the bottom of the brow here, up to the top of the brow, and then back down underneath the brow. Starting off light and drawing them in. And your eyebrows are supposed to come level with your nose here and level with your eye here. And you can see mine are nowhere near long enough. That's just the way they grow. So I always extend them just a little bit. And you can see by doing that I get an arch in my brow, whereas before it was just a curve. And then I'll leave this in a corner until I've done this side. So again, same thing again, coming up underneath, up to the highest point at the top, and then bringing it down, and again extending it a little bit because my eyebrows are very short. So then I check the two sides, make sure they're both the same. They're not. This needs to come down a little bit more. There we go. And then I will bring it in the middle, and I always bring it in line with my nose here, or not my nose, my the corner of my eye. thicken it out just a little bit. And then, because that looks really harsh, I get my finger and I just blend it in at the edges. Not out, so I'm not bringing it down any further, I'm blending it upwards just to soften that edge. And I'm not really blending it, I'm just kind of blotting it on this edge just to take off the harshness. There we go. Now I have real eyebrows, look, yay! And then I just reuse this brush just to get the bits in the eyebrow, just to again blend them out. This eyebrow pencil is really soft, but it sets after a while and it doesn't move, so there we go, now I have eyebrows, yay! So, another drink. I have a basic way of doing my makeup that I've been using for years. I never change it. Which might sound incredibly boring to some of you, but that's what I like doing. You know, if you find something that works for you, keep using it. So I'm going to use, and I must say these e.l.f. powders, very, very powdery. Look at that. I'm going to use this light mauve here. It's, I think it's a satin one. And I'm going to put that right in the middle of my eye there. And again, let me reiterate, for anybody who missed it at the beginning and is going to criticise my makeup technique, I know nothing about makeup, okay? I never even learned about makeup from my mum, because my mum literally has been wearing her makeup the same way for forever, and she's not a great makeup guru either. I'll clear all this up later. This is why I haven't put any powder or anything on. Okay, now I'm going to go with a slightly darker colour. And at some point I really should buy some more makeup brushes, I think, because I actually do like doing my makeup and I do it all with one brush. I'm going to go for a much darker colour. So I'm going to go for this dark, oh, you can't see, sorry. This dark colour down here, which looks like a brown, but it's actually a very, very plummy purple. So that's the dark colour I'm using, and that was the light colour I used. So you can see the same tonal value. And I'm going to put that into my eye socket, and I have no idea how people do their eye sockets and things. I have very lidded eyes. So what I do is I hold down my eye like that, very carefully. I don't, not being crazy, because I can't look down and do my makeup at the same time. So I hold my eye down like that, and very gently I follow the line of my eye bone. So this is my bone here, I can feel it. There's a definite socket there where my eye goes in and my bone comes out. I honestly don't know how these makeup gurus do it when they say look down and put it into your eye socket. And I'm like, well, if I look down, I'm looking at the table. How can I put it into my eye socket if I'm not looking at my eye socket? A bit more on that side. There you go. I don't worry about tidying the edges up or anything like that, or the fact that this is lower than this side. I will worry about that later. Now I'm going to use a colour that is kind of between the two. Oops, I've just broken the top of my palette. That was clever. I'm going to use a colour that's between the two. So this is my dark, oops, this is my dark colour, this is my light colour. I'm going to use one that's between the two. Sorry, that's my dark colour. And that's my light colour. I'm going to use one that's between the two to blend, just put on this edge. It just makes it easier to blend the dark into the highlight. So I'm going to use this one slap bang in the middle, just here. Again, it's a purpley colour. With pink hair and green eyes, I do like to wear purple makeup because it makes my eyes pop. So I'm just going to run that along the edge of that dark section. You see how that makes it fade out a little bit? That will make it much easier to blend it in a moment. So it's kind of, at the moment it's 3 stripes. And then I'm going to go with a very dark grey. I'm going to use this slate grey down here. You see how sparkly it is, which is really nice for Christmas, I think. I'm going to use that colour and a very slight damp brush. Now what I've done is I've got a wet wipe down here that I've dampened my brush on. And I'm just going to pick up a little bit of that. And I'm not spreading it, I'm just dabbing it into this corner in kind of a triangular shape. I do find it very difficult to do both sides of my face the same. My eyes are different shapes and I'm not a beauty expert, but I do my best like everybody else does. There we go. It's about right. Yes, these elf colours are very, very dusty, but you know, this palette's going to last me for like a century. Probably longer than that because I don't suppose I'll ever use any of these. And then I use this elf, it says eyeshadow C brush. Now on this it actually says flawless concealer brush. I don't know if that means it's in the wrong packet or if it's, or what, I don't know if it's labelled incorrectly, but it's an eyeshadow C brush and it's really soft but it's really stubby and I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing with brushes, but this is really nice for blending because it's really soft. So all I'm going to do is blend that dark colour across. You see how it looked really severe just now, and when you blend it, it just goes really soft. I use the same principle with my makeup as I do with my painting. And then I'm going to use this white up here, which is a matte white, it's not a sparkly white. And you can see, I don't know if you can see this, but will it show up on camera? Can you see there's a white here and there's a white here? This white is yellowy and this white is kind of pinky. So because I'm using the greys and the purples, I'm using the pinky white. Highlight under the brow bone. And you remember at the beginning I've just put the colour in the middle, I didn't put it all over. Well, this is why, because I like to put white in this side here. I just feel like, because my eyes are very close together, I feel like it opens them up a bit. And then I'm going to use my clean but damp brush to add a little bit of white in the corner here. I use a damp brush because it makes it stay a little bit better. And now I'm going to blend it all out. So again, using this soft but quite thick, dense brush. And with this one I find I don't generally need to do a lot of work. It kind of does it for you. Can you see? Let me come up close. Can you see the difference? Like this is all banded and now this is all very soft looking. Just going to put a little bit more highlighter on this side. That's better. So that's what we've got so far. Let me come up a bit closer. So that's what we've got. See all the fallout? This is why I didn't do any. This is why I didn't do any powder or anything before I started. Hopefully you can see some of the shimmer there as well. Now that I've blended it all out, I'm going to go back in with my medium tone and just redefine along the crease and this corner. Now I can grab my wet wipe . Take off the excess that ended up under my eyes. Look how much different it is. That's a lot of excess. Very flaky powders, these e.l.f. powders, but I do like the colours. Had I realised how flaky they were going to be, I wouldn't have done my concealer first. I'm actually going to take all of that off and just pop some more concealer on. Now, if you are in any way squeamish about eyes and eyeballs, I suggest you don't watch the next bit because I've had people shriek at me for doing this. I don't know why. I like to put my eyeliner around my eye, but I also like to do my top and bottom waterlines. And the easiest way I've found of doing this is with one of these. It's a kajal stick. They're very popular with Indian girls. Like Asian Indian, not American Indian. And this is a Saffron of London one. And it's like a really big lipstick, but it's eyeliner. And as you can see, mine is a funny shape at the top. And the reason it's a funny shape, look away if you're squeamish now, is because I close my eye with the eyeliner in it and I run the eyeliner along my eye, like that. Apparently that makes people scream. Look away again, I'm going to do the other one. So I've now got the top and the bottom of my eyes are black. Next, I always wear everything I wear on my eyes, apart from my eye powder, like all my eyeliner and everything, I always wear waterproof, always. This is an e.l.f. waterproof crayon. When you first get these e.l.f. crayons, they don't really pay off very well, but what I've found is if you wipe them on a wet wipe before you use them, they've kind of got a coating on, and that kind of helps to get it to come off on your eyes. I'm just doing some extra black around the bottom here. And I just use my finger to kind of tidy it up, because it just gives a softer look. Back in the day I was all about the harsh eyeliner look, you know, Susie in the Banshees look, but getting on a bit now, looking a bit wrinkly, you know. So the heavy black eyeliner doesn't really do it for me anymore. It looks a bit weird. Now I'm going to do the same thing, but I'm going to do the top line. And I'm keeping this as close to the lashes as I possibly can. I'm not being too tidy about it. And if I didn't mention this already, this is waterproof. I always wear waterproof eyeliner. Great. And then I just use my ring finger to blend that out a little bit into my eyeshadow. Not too much, I don't want a massive smudge, just say just enough to make it look a bit less harsh. I find with waterproof eyeliner they dry a lot faster than normal eyeliner, so you have to be quite quick with that. Okay, now I'm going to use my purple eyeliner. I actually use e.l.f. again. This is e.l.f. waterproof eyeliner pen in Plum. And they've got these really nifty, really long felt tip type ends, but they're also quite sturdy. They're not flippy floppy like eyeliner brushes. These are very much like the Faber-Castell brush pens actually to use, and I like that. So I'm just going to wasn't intending to do that, but there you go. And yes, I would explain what I just did if I could. Let me think how to explain it. Right, I laid the brush at the same angle as my eye, and then I drew it across my eyelid like that. And then I bring it down to connect with this one underneath. The reason I put the black over the under the purple is because it makes it a bit darker. This purple is quite bright. And I like the bright purple, but I don't want it today. And also it means if your purple wears off, you've still got your black underneath. So you don't look eyelinerless after a while. So that's it. That's all I do for eyeliner. All I do. That's probably more than most people do. So now I've done that, I'm going to go and powder. This is e.l.f. again. It's the pressed powder in porcelain. These are really nifty containers. There's the powder, which has a plastic thing to protect this, but then underneath, if you like this sort of thing, there's a okay, I can't get it open. Underneath here, oh there we go. You have to tip the lid back. There's a spongy thing. And the bottom of this is aerated, so your sponge goes in there and it doesn't get all moist and horrible. But I don't use a sponge. I don't like sponges. every time I put powder on with a sponge, it goes orange. So I'm a kabuki brush girl. This is the Bare Essentials mini kabuki, I think. It's from the Flawless Finish range. I don't really use powder to cover anything. I almost use it as a colour corrector. I suppose I use powder for what most people would use foundation for, but I just find that this powder just evens out my skin tone because I've got a lot of pink patches. I'm sure if I used foundation I could probably do the whole Flawless Finish skin thing, because my skin is quite clear. I've got a lot of scars but it's quite clear. But I don't like wearing a lot of makeup. I take this down onto my jawline. You'll see why in a second. There's a blush brush. I think it's a number 7. Yeah, it is. It's a Boots number 7. It's just called a blush brush. I think I got it free with something. I think I bought some blusher, surprisingly enough. And I use this. This is Maybelline. It's the Pure Blush Mineral Powder Blush Natural Result Micro Powder in Quartz Peach. And it's one of these ones. So you tip it out into the lid like that. I actually got this recommendation from J Herm Baby. I've never been able to find a blush that I really liked and that worked as a contour until I found this, and then I liked the way it looked on her, and she's very, very pale like me. So just get that into the brush. Now, you're supposed to go, and then your cheeks all suck in and you can see your contours, but as you can see, mine don't do that. In addition, I have a massive dimple on this side that makes it very difficult to get my face to match. So the first thing I do is I do this side to get this side to match this side, because I've got this big lump on here. I think it's from my Meniere's, it's because it's kind of to do with my ear and my jaw. So I just use a little bit of contouring down that side. You see how that's taken that off, and it looks more even now. Well, it does to me. You might not be able to see it, but it does to me. So I'm kind of doing a triangular shape. You should be able to see that quite well on camera because it's not blended yet. It's the same as I do for my paintings. Ooh. Lost focus there, don't know what happened. So then this side I do the same thing, but I don't do the bit down the side. See? And then I scrub off my brush. Actually, I'm going to use my big brush today. So this is clean. Well, it's not clean, I've had my powder on it, but I'm going to buff this in. With my big brush. So now it doesn't look like I've got a massive stripe down my face. There you go. And I'm also going to do the same. This is why I put it down my neck. Because I've got a very round face, I like to just emphasise my jawline there. It's just like painting faces, it's all about creating shadows, but you see that gives the illusion now that my neck, because I've got a big round bit there, just gives the illusion that that bit's a little bit slimmer, that's all. And then my nose. And I do exactly the same thing again, but can you see how this side of my nose looks more shaded than this side, even though I'm facing directly into the light? Well, all I'm going to do is correct that shadow on this side. And it doesn't take a lot to do it either. There we go. Simple as that. And now my nose doesn't look like it's all skewed off to one side quite so much. And then, because that is very orange on my skin, because it's very pigmented and I'm very pale, I use Rimmel Stay Matte foundation. This is powder, sorry, Rimmel Stay Matte powder. This is transparent, but it doesn't look transparent. I actually like to use it just to tone this colour down. I don't know why a transparent powder looks like it's got colour in it, but it does. And because it's a matte one, and I don't like to look all shiny and dewy, I just run it down my T-bar as well. And that is that. For my lips, I like to use this. This is Rimmel Apocalypse in Galaxy 301. This is perfect colour for me. It matches my hair. It's a cool tone, so it goes with my skin tone. Absolutely love it. And it matches my eyeshadow today as well. But before we do that, because this is a bit sticky and it needs time to dry. Oh, might want to put some mascara on. I'm going to just put a thin coat of this on, because what I've found with this, it does last all day if you put on a thin coat first. So almost like a stain. And leave that to dry until it's dry. Mascara, I just use this. This is Maybelline The Falsies Volume Express Mega Lash Mascara type stuff. I can't stand wearing false eyelashes because I have quite long lashes. They're just very fair, so they don't show up. So I don't like wearing false eyelashes at all, but I don't mind wearing lots of mascara to make my lashes look good. So, and this is a very strange curved wand, but it's flexible, so it's actually very easy to use. And I just whack this on. So there you go, there's the difference. See, I do have lashes, you just can't see them. I don't curl my lashes or anything, I can't be bothered with all that mess. But my lashes happen to be very long and curly anyway, as it happens. I'm almost out of mascara as well. I need to buy some more. Put that on my list today. So there you go, now I've actually got some eyelashes. This is now completely dry, so I can put my second coat on, but before I do that, I'm going to do my hair. Because it gets a bit sticky and my hair tends to stick to everything, so I don't do anything with my hair. I had it pinned up last night, so it's curly. This is like day 3. I think. I curled it the other day, I pin curled it the other day, and then since then I've just washed it and slept on it, so I don't really do anything to it. My hair doesn't get greasy, it goes very, very dry, so even now my roots are not greasy at all, which is why I use conditioner. Now what it says on the bottle of this is not what's in it. I've actually got just the conditioner that I use, which is Aussie Colourmate, yes, Aussie Colourmate conditioner, half and half with water in a spray bottle, and I spray that underneath just to, I find my hair gets very knotty underneath, so I just kind of tease that out a little bit, because I don't like to brush or comb my hair, but this just stops it getting dreaded at the back. There we go, that's better. It's not looking too flat today, it's looking okay on this side, but this side's a bit flat, so I'm going to use my dry shampoo Batiste in Paisley, which is absolutely gorgeous. It smells like Parma violets. I just pop a bit of that into my hair and just rough it up a little bit. I've got a flat spot in the back of my head, so I always put a little bit in there. There we go, that's better. And then I don't brush it, because if I brushed this now it would go frizzy. If I even put a comb near this right now it would go frizzy. So all I do is just kind of claw with my hands just to tease out all the really kinky bits and any knots, and you know, just loosen it up so it's not stuck to my scalp. My hair is a bit like that, you know, the skin lady in Doctor Who. Moisturise me, moisturise me! Yeah, that's my hair. So I just scrunch conditioner into it. It just helps tame that dry, frizzy look. Because my hair's actually in really good condition, but it's very prone to dryness. It's always been like that, even when it's not, even when I've not coloured it or anything, it's always been prone to dryness. Okay, so when that dries, that'll be curly again. It looks a bit bedraggled at the moment, but it'll bounce back when it's dry. Won't take long. And finally, if I can find it. What have I done with it now? Yeah, I've lost my lipstick. The one I literally just used. Here it is. Fell down the back of the laptop. So, I'm just going to twist this round gently and pin it back up. Got my very pretty butterfly clip, isn't that lovely? So that will dry curly now, so when I go out tonight that will be curled already and I won't have to do anything with it. I just shush and go, zhuzh it up and go. And if I've got any big clumps like that, I just separate the curls so they don't look quite so manic. I find this stays on a lot better if you don't look with it. You know, like you normally do with lipstick, you smush it, don't you? But I find it stays on a lot better if I don't do that. And that's it. I'm ready to go. I'm going to chuck some earrings in, if I can get them untangled. Pretty sparkly ones for today, I think, because it's Christmassy. And that's it. I'm ready. I'm done. So, something a bit different for you today, but I hope you enjoyed that. A bit fun. And I will see you all tomorrow. Bye.